Welcome to the session Leveraging Technology for Sustainable Development Goals. In today's session, we are going to talk about Introduction to Sustainable Development Goals, overview of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals given by United Nations, role of information technology in Sustainable Development Goals. We are going to take around 6 dimensions like green information technology and energy efficiency, smart cities and sustainable infrastructure, climate monitoring and environmental protection, sustainable business practices and supply chains, remote work and digital transformation, and finally we are also going to include healthcare and well-being. Further, we will also discuss about the challenges in implementing information technology for sustainable development goals, ethical considerations in technology for sustainable development goals, future trends like where is information technology heading in coming days, role of governments and private sectors in tech-driven sustainable development goals. The Sustainable Development Goals originated from the Millennial Development Goals of United Nations project. It was developed by United Nations as a collective effort shaped by governments, businesses, civil society and global organization with UN taking the lead. This was developed under the United Nations Development Programme. On September 25, 2015, the 193 United Nations member states adopted the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, including the 17 Sustainable Development Goals and 169 targets. It replaced the earlier MDGs developed. Now, when we look at the statistics of where we stand today, having implemented 10 years ago the SDGs, the snippet here clearly tells us it covers 169 targets with 4,025 events, 1,354 publications and 7,928 actions. Now, this is the data collected as on today from the United Nations website. Now, this statistics is taken from the United Nations website as on today. Now, when we visit the website, we see lot of such development goals being implemented across the globe by different governments, business organizations and countries. Now, are these the only set of sustainable development goals available? Maybe not. Certain companies, organizations, countries have laid down their own sustainable policies and goals. Now, United Nations gives a key framework with these 17 goals, and since it is endorsed by the global body, most of the organizations follow this as guidelines. Now, it is very easy to understand what exactly these 17 sustainable development goals are because it covers almost many elements which are touched by business organizations today. Now, let us take an overview of 17 sustainable development goals. The first sustainable development goal is no poverty. The second one being zero hunger. The third SDG is good health and well-being. SDG 4 as quality education. SDG 5 gender equality. SDG 6 focusing on clean water and sanitation. SDG 7 affordable and clean energy systems. SDG 8 decent work and economic growth. SDG 9 like industry, innovation and infrastructure. SDG 10 reduced inequalities. SDG 11 focusing on sustainable cities and communities. SDG 12 focusing on responsible consumption and production. SDG 13 focusing on climate action. SDG 14 on life below water. SDG 15 on life on land. SDG 16 peace, justice and strong institutions. And finally, the SDG 17 focusing on partnerships for the goals. Now, all these 17 SDGs touch upon various dimensions, everything in the ecosystem where we live in. It covers everything from the land, water to policies and people. So, we can say it touches everything on this planet. SDGs act as a tool to connect between the people and the planet. Now, moving forward, let us see how exactly these 17 SDGs have been playing role in information technology. Information technology plays a crucial role in promoting sustainability by enabling efficient resource management, reducing carbon footprints, and fostering sustainable development across various sectors. Some of the key ways of IT contribution to global sustainability are discussed in the next few minutes. The first set is with the green information technology and energy efficiency. Now, here organizations can focus on building and designing softwares, hardware, network, or overall IT infrastructure with conscious energy consumption. Today, we have cloud computing solutions which can be utilized, but again, the point here is what is the carbon footprint it leaves when all these hardwares are being running on a system to make the information system available for individuals and organizations. The other point what we need to think is use of Internet of Things, which is connecting multiple devices and enables 24/7 interaction amongst these devices. One side we have the benefits, on the other side what is the amount of energy consumed? Can we efficiently conserve this energy consumption? Now, in the process of these activities, we might be using multiple resources. Now, how do we manage the e-waste and certain recycling programs which are very much required for energy efficiency? Let us take few examples to understand how this is achieved. We have the first example like IoT enabled smart meters. So, IT is part of even residential projects today. Like even inside our houses, we are going to use multiple devices. These smart devices are connected and help us achieve energy efficiency. Not only in the residential projects, these are majorly used in the industrial projects. It could be used for multiple purposes like adjusting heating and cooling, reducing energy bills, sensors in industries to monitor and control power usage, minimizing unnecessary energy wastage. Now, there are certain companies which are using these smart technologies like Philips and Lutron, which can adjust brightness based on occupancy and daylight levels. There are also smart buildings designed with IoT sensors. Now, these could be utilized for air conditioning, lighting, appliance usage, reducing overall power consumption. Now, it need not be limited for the individual usage or industrial applications. Think about the whole city connected with a smart application. Now, that is what a smart city is all about. Smart cities with sustainable infrastructure where they are connected with smart grids reduce energy waste. Smart transportation systems which can minimize the fuel consumption. Digital governance reducing paperwork and improving service efficiency. We have multiple examples around us in the developed world. Some of the countries do not have access for this infrastructure. While they make small efforts in implementing this, there are countries like India which are utilizing technology for achieving the sustainable development goals. Here is a TEDx talk by Vinay Pabba, driving India towards net zero strategy for a low carbon energy transition. Now, he talks about renewable energy and its benefit in designing conservation systems. We also have intelligent transportation systems that are rapidly expanding to meet growing demands for safer, more efficient and sustainable transportation solutions. Now, imagine the real-time traffic data which could enable the vehicular movements. Now, a real-time traffic data collected from sensors prioritizing public transportation and encouraging efficient traffic flow, minimizing congestion and carbon emissions can further be enhanced by integrating features like pedestrian detection and bike lane prioritization to promote multimodal transportation options. Now, these things are happening around us already. Smart sensors, connected vehicles have been designed and developed for better energy efficient usage. While smart sensors installed on roads can monitor traffic volume, speed and congestion level in real time, Connected vehicles help us communicating with the infrastructure, receiving traffic updates and adapting driving behavior accordingly. Now there is also the data analytics from these smart transportation systems. Now looking at the data, many decisions could be designed, enabling an efficient routing system or smart parking systems, guiding drivers to available spots to reduce circling or idling are some of the benefits which could be achieved through this. Some of the other benefits are achieving the air quality by analyzing the number of vehicles on the road, safer roads for people who are on roads as well as off-road. Demand responsive public transportation systems could be achieved through these sensor systems. Now not only this, we have MaaS, that is mobility as service, a platform allowing users to access different transportation options like bus, train, bike sharing through a single app promoting multimodal travel. Now vehicular ad hoc networks, intelligent traffic lights, virtual traffic lights and mobility productions are part of the system. Now most of these devices are frequently changing and enabling better usage and decision systems. Some of these smart systems are also used by the government departments like the traffic authorities and transportation departments. Now this helps them in making quicker decisions and monitoring the transportation systems. Now with the next example, we have climate monitoring and environmental protection. Now can we achieve this with the AI powered satellite connection or network? Now satellite and sensor technology could be used for deforestation and pollution tracking, blockchain for transparent carbon credit training, and AI powered climate modeling and prediction systems. Now here is a snippet which shows us like how forest fires are driver of deforestation, example from India. Now according to the Global Forest Watch, as on 2021, 2.8 million hectares of land have been burned, an unusually high number compared to previous years. Now what if we could have certain thermal sensors which could predict and tell us in advance? So such situations could be avoided. Now let us try to look into few scenarios how exactly these smart systems could be useful in deforestation. Radar sensors which use radio waves to penetrate clouds and capture data at night. Now, what if we could use thermal sensors to detect this fire in advance? Thermal sensors to detect infrared radiation to identify forest fires and heat stress. Spectral analysis to examine different wavelengths of light to identify materials on the ground. Time series data to capture sequences of images over time to track changes in forest cover. Satellite imagery used to monitor tree growth and assess carbon accumulation. Now not only this, like forest fires. Now there are technological advancements like shortwave infrared satellite technology which could help us in assessing forest fires and identify thick smoke clouds or active fires. And this could also be like helping in monitoring the impact of fires and develop emergency rehabilitation plans. Not only this, they could also be used for monitoring the carbon emissions. There are also concepts like space-borne SAR which is used to quantify changes in above ground biomass like AGB, or space-borne LIDAR like used to estimate above ground biomass in boreal forests. Now we see lot of such developments occurring which could be useful for monitoring forest resources. Now taking the fourth dimension, sustainable business practices and supply chain management. Now when we talk about supply chains today, there has been lot of logistics and movements because of the progress in the business world. It could be anything from the B2B to B2C world. Digital platforms are optimizing logistics and reducing transportation emissions. Like we see lot of automation occurring where everything from order placement to delivery consumes lot of energy resources for transportation, logistics, movement and distribution. So, in supply chain management, information technology helps in monitoring real-time data across supply chain, optimizing logistics, reducing waste, tracking carbon footprints, facilitating collaboration with suppliers to implement eco-friendly practices, and ultimately leading to more efficient and environmentally responsible operations. Now, the three pillars of sustainability in supply chain are environment, sustainability and governance. In supply chain, information technology can also be used to predict the demand, or better say it as demand forecasting, minimizing the routing options. Information technology can be used in supply chain for real-time tracking, demand forecasting, carbon footprint analysis, route optimization, inventory management, procurement optimization, and supplier management platforms like to stay the vendors connected or collaboration of suppliers regarding sustainability initiatives and performance metrics. Now, with all this, supply chain management can achieve certain benefits like it can help save the cost, enhance brand reputation for companies demonstrating commitment to sustainability through transparent supply chain practices. They can have reduced environmental impact with low carbon emissions, minimized waste and optimized resource usage. Above all, the major requirement is companies today have to fulfill this as a compliance. So, this becomes the responsibility of every organization to follow the law. Through this, they will be able to achieve the ESG, environmental, social and governance norms or standards used for assessing the impact and sustainability of a company's activities. Now, we also have the fifth dimension, remote work and digital transformation. Now, technology has enabled people to work from any corner provided the digital infrastructure is available. So, virtual meetings and cloud collaborations have helped reduce travel related emissions. Digital education has helped in reducing dependency on physical infrastructure. Paperless offices have contributed to deforestation control. There are multiple platforms like Google Workspace, Microsoft Teams and Slack which enable seamless remote collaboration. AI-driven project management tools like Trello and Asana enhance productivity. Virtual assistants like ChatGPT and Google Bard support task automation. Cybersecurity and other things can be achieved with the help of virtual private networks, multi-factor authentication and zero trust security. Now, companies have implemented AI-based security measures to detect this data security threats. Organizations are able to implement the hybrid work model structures with the help of technology. Virtual reality and augmented reality have helped companies create engaging experiences for customers and employees. While customers are benefited in making buying decisions, employees have been benefited in training and learning solutions. Now, with all this, healthcare is another important requirement for all citizens across the globe. Irrespective of the country we belong, we trust that the governments play a key role and medical systems needs to be accessible and available to all citizens. IT plays an important role in designing these systems. Now, information technology has enabled healthcare systems to provide telemedicine, reducing the need for physical hospital visits, cutting emissions. Now, it has also helped in medical research and data-driven health monitoring, improving global health initiatives. Now, this was very much evident during the COVID and post-COVID period. Today, any of these informations could be monitored on the information systems and enables decisions for the governments and the medical professionals very quickly. Now, with all this, it is not easy for organizations to adapt information technology. So, some of the challenges in implementing information technology for sustainable development goals are the digital divide and accessibility, like there is always the unequal access to IT infrastructure, internet and digital tools, especially in rural and low income areas, high implementation costs, developing and deploying advanced IT solutions require significant investments, cybersecurity and data privacy risks, lack of digital literacy and skills, integration with existing systems. Now, the legacy infrastructure and outdated policies make it difficult to adopt new IT-driven solutions. Regulatory and ethical concerns like compliance with data protection laws, ethical AI use and environmental regulations adds on to the complexity. Now, ethical consideration in information technology for SDGs require transparency, strong regulation and responsible innovation to ensure that technology contributes positively for global sustainability. This includes everything from data security to privacy, ethical use of artificial intelligence in decision making or designing automated systems, environmental impact of technology, like every organization should analyze the technological impact on environment, digital inclusion and equity. Now, one of the other major challenge is combating the misinformation or fake news or deep fakes or unethical use of digital platforms. Now, the governments as well as the IT companies are struggling to overcome this challenge. Now, with all this, where is IT heading in future? So, we can say the role of information technology for sustainable development goals lies in intelligent, inclusive and eco-friendly innovations that drive global sustainability while ensuring ethical and equitable technology adoption. So, there are multiple trends which are emerging, particularly the technological trends like artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things, green computing, which can help us in creating more equitable, efficient and sustainable world. Governments, businesses and communities must collaborate to harness these technologies responsible for long-term impact. Now, let us look into the role of governments and private sectors in sustainable development goals. Now, the governments play a key role in ensuring that the technology is designed fairly and distributed to everybody. So, they could also impose regulations in terms of green computing, which could be set as standards for multiple organizations which are using information technology. Governments can also make effort in creating smart grid systems which could be designed with the help of public-private partnerships, and this helps in huge energy conservation. While the role of private sector is major because majority of the companies belong to the private sector. So, they lay down norms or embrace SDGs on their own. They also choose the three pillars like ESG, environmental, social and governance policies which have been set within their company premises, and this has been communicated across their departments and employees and other stakeholders to ensure ESG practices help them achieve the sustainable development goals. Nobody can stop the technological developments. So, it becomes the responsibility of people who are designing the technology and using the technology, like we citizens, companies or governments, and the responsibility of every individual who is part of the technological systems to ensure we follow the sustainable methods in use and practice of information systems. Now, let us take a quick recap of the session discussion. So, we started discussing with the introduction to sustainable development goals, overview of 17 sustainable development goals, role of information technology in SDGs. We took around 5 to 6 dimensions to understand the role of information technology in achieving sustainable development goals, challenges in implementing information technology for sustainable development goals, ethical consideration in tech for SDGs, future trends, role of governments and private sectors in tech-driven sustainable development goals. A quick set of interesting facts pertaining to SDGs in information technology, references used. We have particularly used some of the governing bodies at global and international level who are designing the Sustainable Development Goals, ESG norms and policies. Thank you.